Hi everyone, welcome to round 2 from the Doncaster Open. I expect today 150s and R160s as a result, but with black as well, but I got a 189 with white, who I nearly beat at the famous casino rapid play in Huddersfield in 2012 when he was 201 ECF. But this guy has wins versus title players, so it's not going to be easy. I played E4. He played C6. Aha, he wants to try and grind me. Last time he selected the sharp and tactical perk, but I handled the tactics better and was very unlucky not to have won. I played D4. I looked at this before, actually a few weeks, like a week before the game, but I think it's pretty harmless. D4, D5, and knight D2. E5 is the strongest move in this position, but I know it's about as deep as a paddling pool. And if knight c3 instead of knight d2, black has this alternative plan of playing g6 and being Kettwin called a Gurgen Diaz position. But of course if I play knight d2, then it's not as strong, so I can always blunt the bishop with c3. So it takes away that option. So it takes bishop f5, the main line. Knight d7 is what Keith Arkle uses to grind people down like a blender. Knight f6 is played next, so the bishop can be recaptured with the other knight, thus avoiding the structural damage. There is also knight takes knight f6, knight takes f6, and g takes f6. An interesting line called the Bronstein-Larsen, where black accepts double pawns in return for a g-file activity. Bishop f5 and knight g3. Knight c5 is an interesting move which has been tried a few times. Bishop g6, h4 to gain space on the king's side ready for future operations there. Although the pawn can become weak, making endgames favourable to black. It's got book moves. White has a huge development advantage, but black is too solid. e6, bishop f4 and queen a5 check. A very annoying check. I played c3, but I think bishop d2 is stronger, but I need to do some more research on this position. So queen c7, c4, knight gf6, and these moves. I think black's fairly comfortable in this position. I played c3, knight gf6, bishop d2, so I've effectively wasted the move. Bishop e7, c4, queen c7, I castled long and now he castled short. In the previous game we reached this position, white castled long. Now to king b1 we got stuff like knight b4, taking advantage of the weakness of f2. Although it's playable, I think it's quite risky because the h5 pawn gives me decent attacking chances as a result, so if I can get g4, g5 in, could be a quick knockout. I played rook d1 with maybe some knight f5 ideas. Maybe the best move was to play the consolidating, move king b1, because when you castle queenside a lot, it's a good idea to play king b1 or king b8 if you're black, because c-files can get killed on the c-file, and there's also checks sometimes on like g5 and f4 you have to watch out for. And then b5, it's in the opposite side of the castle in position as you go for it. c5, a5, knight e4 takes, 6, and then chances are better even in this endgame with the d5 outpost making up for white space advantage. For d1 and a5, and now I decided to analyse knight f5, but it's pretty harmless. Knight f5, then the best move is well, this is actually fine, this, because the rook's a bit stuck. But bishop b4 is the best move. And now if white can try sacrificing with knight takes h6. Check. If rejects it, then that loses after knight takes f7, rook takes f7, h6, g6, and rook takes e6, and white has 3 pawns for the piece with a strong attack to boot. So he takes it. Bishop takes h6 and now grabs the rook. And now queen e3, threatening queen g5 for a main attack. King h7 to stop that. We take the rook, we take the knight, c5. And black should win with his extra piece. So knight e4 I played. And he played b5. c5 was a move that was bothering me. I can try and keep lines shut with d5, but after he can always open the c5 with takes, knight takes, queen takes, rook f8, queen f4, and queen b6. And I think black's attacking chances look better than white's. There was a lot of open files towards white's king, and black's king's relatively safe. Not good. At b5, I played c5, keeping line shut at the cost of giving up d5. Rook fd8, and now I played queen e2. I was envisaging a knight takes f7 sack followed by queen takes e6 check in the future, which is a common feature in the Caro-Kann. It also protects f2s against any knight g4s. He played knight takes e4, queen takes e4, knight f6, queen e2, and rook d5. A strong move occupying the outpost with a rook instead, so black can double and hack my backward d4 pawn off the board. Like in round 1, I am structurally worse, so I must attack. So I played g4. Of course, knight takes g4 is very bad. After rook takes g1, the knight can't be protected because at f5 e6 is hanging. When he moves it, of course, we've got this pin. Knight e8, and now bishop takes g7, knight takes g7, h6, and bishop f6, and queen e3. And black's better structure doesn't mean much now in this position because he's getting hacked. So rook ad8, g5 to open some lines. The pawn must be taken. And now I'd looked at the move h6, and there was a game I'd seen from Andrew Martin's game of the day from the 2012 British Championship between Gawain Jones and Terry Chapman, I think, where Jones played something like this and won pretty quickly from this position after takes knight g4. But this is as far as I got. But there is rook h3. There's also some sacks I'd looked at. With also some crazy sack with rook takes e6, f takes e6, queen takes e6, king f8, and queen takes g4. But after queen d7, say this. White has 2 pawns for the exchange, but can't claim any advantage, and it might be a bit worse because of d4's weakness. Like g4's threatened already. And also there is rook h3 is best, and white has some strong compensation for the pawn with numerous threats. I might have been able to win this position. But of course I'm not Gawain Jones, I'm a passer. Another thing I'd looked at as well is knight takes g5, but this is no good because black has a tactical shot, bishop takes c5, and the queen defends f7, so there's no sack on f7, and white's centre is completely collapsed. Not good. So I played bishop takes g5 after knight h7. I thought this was a strong move at the time, but it gives white another chance. Now rook takes g5 is a very strong exchange sack. I had seen this, but I didn't think it worked. After knight takes g5, queen f4 check. More reason why the king should have been moved to b1 earlier. Queen e3. I thought I had this move, but now black plays rook takes d4. Queen takes f4, rook takes f4, f3, and knight d7. Black will have a bishop and 2 pawns for the exchange, and probably win a 3rd pawn, so he's definitely better. Knight h7. I played bishop takes e7, dubious, queen takes e7, and now queen e3. I looked at h6, but I thought it doesn't do anything after g6, but queen e3 to stop knight g5, which was a good move in the game, because now with knight g5, we have h7 check, king h8, knight e5, threatening knight takes c6, queen f6, can't be protected, f4, kick the knight, takes, and now white is just winning. That c pawn's going to run down the board. A nice tactical move that, where the black's back rank is too weak because of the pin on the knight. White is winning. Of course, black didn't have to blunder with knight g5, but this is quite a good position for white. This. But after queen e3, knight g5, it is now hard to defend the pawn weaknesses, and I made another mistake when knight takes g5. I should have played knight e5. The problem was that I failed to take into account this game that c6 is weak, and if it's taken, it also wins an exchange. After rook takes d4, I should play king b1 first, because if I take on c6 straight away, then that loses the knight. And I can take that knight, then rook d2, and black's got a crushing attack. It's mating. Well, I've got. And now I've got this tactic. And black is 2 pawns up in an endgame. King b1. And now there's quite a few threats, so rook e4 can be played, and now knight takes c6 is a beautiful shot because the queen's going with check. Queen f6 is forced to queen c3. What is almost slightly worse than his preserved material balance, and also has a passed pawn to boot. Knight takes g5, queen takes g5, and now queen takes g5 was probably best, but rook takes g5, rook h4, rook dd5, and the h pawn drops. Although winning the pawn upending was quite a good technique. I played rook d1 and now queen d7, queen f6, sorry, and bye bye d4 pawn. I played h6, g6, now h7 check, doesn't do anything. King h8, king b1. Another move that should have been played a lot earlier. After rook takes d4, rook takes d4, queen takes d4. I had horrifically blundered with queen g5. But even taking the queens off is hopeless because h7 and c5 are also weak. So the theme, all rook and pawn endgames is drawn, does not apply to this position. But I played queen g5 and the game ended next move with simply check. Whoops, but I was lost anyway. Well, he had a decent position with attacking chances, but missed some strong moves and lost. Not good. Hopefully I can get some points this event. Also going to do a little mini guess the move now from a round 2 game, which actually sort of decided the open in the end. Seeing as, well, it was, let's get it up. This is the game. Phil Alberson versus Ali Janubi. Ali's the top player at my club, Denton, by the way. Over 204 ECF or something. It's a guess the winning move. This is for guess the winning move for black. And Phil got 5 and Ali got 5.5 in the end. So even though this is round 2, this effectively decided the open. Yeah, so black to move. Pause if you want to try and guess the winning move. And both players had seconds left at this point. It is queen takes h2 check, forcing knight takes h2, and now we have a beautiful checkmate. How beautiful is that? What a game anyway it was. But anyway, yeah. I hope you enjoyed this game. It was constructive anyway. It was quite fun annotating actually, because it was nice opposite side castle and hack up. But I hope you enjoyed it, and please leave any comments and thoughts. Thanks very much.